Hello guys, so I've folded my pattern paper into two. I'll be putting my shoulder measurement. I use 7.5 for my shoulder, then 3 inches for the neck width and 3.5 inches for the neck depth. So I came down by 1 inch to slant my shoulder. So after slanting the shoulder, I curve the neck. If you don't have a French curve, you can use your free hand. So the next thing I'll be taking the armhole measurement. You know it's sleeveless, so I use 7 inches. I don't want it to be too open. So I put in my shoulder measurement back, which is 7.5, to ensure it's on a straight line. So after that, I divided 7 into 2, which is 3.5. So I came out by half an inch. So the next thing, I'll be putting my shoulder to bust point measurement. My shoulder to bust point is 10 inches. My shoulder to waist measurement is 16 inches. So from my waistline, I will measure 8 inches, which is my hip line. After that, I'll be measuring the full length of my top. So my full length is 27. I added 2 inches to it for sewing allowance that we used to fold it down. So I'm having 29 inches. So I'm just transferring back all the measurements: 10 inches, 16 inches, the hip line and the full length of the top. So I'll be connecting the lines now. So after that, my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2 is 4. So I'll mark 4 inches down from my waistline, my bust point, to the full length of the dress. Then I'll connect the lines together. So after connecting the lines together, I came down by 1 inch from my bust point downward. Then I took in my darts half an inch on both sides from the waistline. Then I'll be connecting it to the bust point that I came down by 1 inch. Then from the waistline I came down by 5 inches. Then I'll connect it back. Now I'll be putting my measurement. My bust is 37. I added 1 inch for ease to make it 38. So 38 divided by 4, and I added half inch sewing allowance. So my waist is 32 plus 1 inch to give me 33. Divided by 4, I imputed my measurement. Remember, I used 1 inch, that is there, I will be cutting out, so I will transfer it back. So I added my 1 inch dart, then half inch sewing allowance. So after that, I'll put in my hip measurement. My hip is 40, divided by 4 is 10, and I'll add half an inch to it for sewing allowance. So I also transfer my hip measurement to the full length of my dress. Then I'll connect the lines together. I did not add ease to my hip because it's not a fitted top. So the hip side, there is a flare there. That's why I use my exact hip measurement. So after that, I covered my armhole. So the next thing, I use my curve to connect it. It's a princess dart, just to connect the dart line. So I just curved out the pointed edge there. So the front pattern is ready. I will cut it out. So before I cut out everything, I will use the front pattern to cut the back. Alright, I've placed the front pattern on my back pattern. So I've marked out 1 inch for zip allowance. Then I placed the front pattern on the zip line, on the zip allowance line. So the next thing now, I'll be marking out my waistline, my hip line, and the full length of my top on the back pattern. I'm just marking out the armhole line so that when I remove the front pattern from the back, I'll be able to connect the lines. I just marked the full length, so I'll remove my pins now and connect the lines on my back pattern. So that's my waistline, that's the hip line, and that's the armhole line. So I came down by 1 inch for the neck depth. So I'll be using my curve now to curve out the depth of the neck. So just like we did at the front, I'm marking out 4 inches down to the full length of the top. Then I'll connect the lines together. Okay, on the waistline, I came in by 1/2 inch, which is my dart measurement, and I will connect it to the chest line, which is my armhole line. Then I came down by 6 inches for the dart, then I'll connect it. You remember for the front, I came down by 5 inches. By the back, I came down by 6 inches. Just like we did at the front. So I've marked the 3.5, which is the half of the arm, and I'll connect it to get the princess dart line. Just blend out any pointed edge. In order to prevent zip bulge, I came in by 1/2 inch on the waistline, then I'll connect it to the chest line and to my hip line. Now I'll put in my measurements. My bust is 37, just like we did at the front, plus 1 inch is, then plus 1/2 inch sewing allowance. I put in my waist measurements, including, I took in 1/2 inch for that. I came in by 1/2 inch on the zip allowance in here, so I'll transfer it to the measurement on the waistline also. Then add my sewing allowance as well. Then I did the same thing for the hip line and for the full length of my top. I just transfer what I have from my hip to the full length on the top. So I'll connect the lines together now. So after connecting the lines, I'll cut out the back. This is basically everything about it. So I will just cut it out. So this is the front. I'm cutting it out. My camera actually stopped recording. I did not know. So I did not record when I was cutting out the back. So this is the front now. I'm cutting out. Just arrange it well so I don't end up ruining the pattern. So I just notch there so I'll be able to know the center line. Then I cut out the neck. Next thing, I will open out the center line. So I'm labeling my pattern so I don't end up missing them. That's the center front, then the side front. So I've labeled my pattern, center front, side front. So the next thing, I notch the waistline because our flare is going to start from the waistline. I'm just notching it on the other pattern. So I'm marking it out. So the next, I'll be placing the pattern on a different paper. That is what I'll be using for the flare extension. So I'm just trying to centralize the pattern on the paper. Then I will use my tape to pin it down. I'll just tape down the side so it will be firm on the paper. So after that, I marked out 2 inches on both sides. 2 inches on both sides. It depends on how big you want the flare to be. So I use 2 inches. If you want yours to be very full at the down, you can use up to 3 or 4 inches. So after that, I've connected it back to the waistline. So I'll be cutting out the excess now. So I will do the other one for the other side of the center front. So just like I did this one, I did the other center front like this. To the next, I will do the side front. So I've marked out 2 inches at the down. Then I will connect it. On the other side, where I'll be joining both the back and the front, I use my curved to curve out because I don't want pointed edge. Then I'll just use my straight line to connect the inner side. So now I'll cut out the excess. So I did the same thing for the other side, and this is the front now, all the fronts together. So this is the back. I've cut it out and I've labeled them center back and the side back. So I'll also put it on the pattern now and cut it just like I did that of the front. So for the center back, I did not add I removed the extra 2 inches for the flare for the zip side. You know there's a zip allowance there. So I just cut out the 2 inches that I initially added. So there will not be any extension on the zip allowance side because of the zip. So this is the side back. I just marked 2 inches for the down for the extension. So I'll be connecting it now. just like I did at the front. On the side I'll be joining with the front, I use my curve. Then on the inner side, I use my straight line. So I'll just cut out the excess. So this is all the patterns for the back, and these are the ones for the front. So I'll arrange my patterns together. Then the next thing is to transfer to fabric. So this is the fabric I used. It's actually an Ankara print. I used 2 yards to cut out this tie. So I've pinned my pattern on my fabric. You see this on fold. That's the center front. Instead of cutting them one, so I just place it on fold. So I'll be cutting both the two center fronts together. So I'm cutting out now. So I just left half an inch for the sewing allowance that I will use to join the peaks together. I also did the same thing on this other side. I left my joining allowance. So I'll cut the rest now and bring it for you to see. Alright, I've cut all the front and all the back together. So this is it. For the side front, this is it, the center front and the side front. I did not add any allowance on the other side of the side front because I've already added it to my pattern. This side I did not put any joining allowance. So that's it. This is the back also. So the next thing, I remove the pin and I'll be joining the peaks together. So I'll do that of the front first, then before doing the back. I will use half an inch to join all the peaks together, that of the front and that of the back. So I've joined all the peaks together. I've joined the front with half an inch and I've notched it. And I've also joined the other side and I've notched it. So this is the back. I've also joined and I've notched. So the next thing, I'll be joining the shoulders together, the front and the back together. So I will use half an inch to join them together. Then after which I will be piping the neck. So I will use these peaks to pipe the neck. I'll sew it round and bring it for you to see. So I've joined the shoulders and I've piped the neck. So the next thing now, I will notch it. So I've notched it. I will just fold it like this. So I'll fold it around like this. Alright, I've folded it round, so you can see. The next is to pipe the armhole. But before I pipe the armhole, I want to dip it a little. You know I use 7.5 for the shoulder, so I just want to remove that half inch, so I'll be left with 7 inches. So I'll just cut it out. I still use 7 inches for the depth, just to dip it out a little. So after which I will be stitching the edge of those joining place so it does not lose out. Then I will pipe it. So I've stitched it and I've piped. The next thing is I will notch. If you have buba bias, you can use buba bias, but I used the fabric because I was not having buba bias. So I will pipe it now. I'll fold it in like this, fold it round. I've done the other side, so this is it. So I'll do this other side, then I will use half an inch to join the sides together. So look at it, I've piped the two sides and I've joined the two sides together with half an inch. And I've also ironed paper gum to my zip allowance side. The next thing I'll be fixing my zip. You know, while we were drafting the pattern, I left 1 inch zip allowance. So I'll be using that 1 inch now to fix my zip. The next thing is to pin out the zip on the fabric so it does not shift when I'm sewing. I'm just making sure it's the 1 inch. So when you sew your zip this way, it prevents zip bulging. Alright, I've fixed the zip for one side and I fold it down. So the zip was not long enough to the length, so I had to join it. So the next thing now, I'll fix the other side of the zip. I'll pin it down just like I did the other side when I was fixing. Ensure you sew with the zip allowance that you put when cutting. If it's ½ inch you left as zip allowance, sew with your ½ inch. I am using 1 inch because I left 1 inch zip allowance. So I will sew it now. So guys, this is it. This is the finished look. I've sewn, fixed the zip, I've ironed it. This is the front and this is the back. Alright, bye bye.